All right, what is up, guys? Please let me know, as usual, if you can hear me. We're doing a Sunday evening stream here, and today it's gonna be a little bit more chill than normal, I think, because I normally we try like make a list about something, but I think it'd be fun to just kind of hang out and see what you guys think about the new cards here. I am super hyped about Avenge Me. I don't know if you guys have seen my Spider-Man. But wait, that's going to be in the Hercules hero pack. This is a pretty crazy card. So yeah, I have a list here. We have Google Doc, and I'll be going over what I think are the best cards or my favorite cards in 2026 so far. And there's not a big selection, not a big selection. Only the Wonder Man and Hercules hero packs have come out. But pretty crazily, there's been a lot of really cool and unique cards. I think like I don't know if I want to say more than normal, but I do feel like these have been some of the more exciting cards I've seen in Marvel Champions. So let's do a table here. And then how many things should we do for the table? We need like, let's do like this, I guess. And then we'll put, okay, let's make some brackets here for like what are like cool cards. So like the first row is going to be my favorite card. I gotta get the, so I don't know what it is yet. I feel like Avenge Me might be a good contender. My favorite card so far. And these would be like amazing cards. These are like better than average. So like better than average, like cards that we normally see of that type. Let's insert some rows here. And then, I don't know, like, I guess this would be like average cards. And then the bottom we can put like, don't care about these. I feel like that's pretty good, right? Yeah, so something like this, I think. And let's go ahead and fill out like some of these amazing cards here, because I think there's a lot of amazing cards. Okay, let's see. What should we look at first? So are we going over reprints? Probably not. I feel like I'm excited for reprints though, especially like a call for backup. So now if you're playing 2 leadership decks, you know, you can put a call for backup for each one of them. I don't know. Should we do reprints, guys? I'm not sure. Beowulf, welcome to the chat. Thank you, man. I hope you're having an amazing weekend too. Nar Antlers, what is up, man? I have a new appreciation for the Iceman hero pack. Sorry, it's not 2026. Also, Iron Lad is pay rad. Yeah, Iron Rad, I have not actually really used him in a way that he's been like awesome, but he's from Civil War, so also 2025. But yeah, those are, I mean, I think that's, I know a lot of people love that ally. What in the Iceman hero pack are you like super excited for? I know you're talking about something. I think I forgot the surprise card, something like that. Ed Baywell says reprints should count for current environment. Okay, yeah, true. Pretty rad. Gotcha. Yeah, okay. All right, let's go and do call for backup then. I think call for backup is pretty rad in our Antler's words. So we're gonna put, I mean, call for backup. How do we, is this a call for backup? Is pretty amazing. I think I'm very excited that we have this card here. What are these brackets for? Are we just gonna list them straight down? I don't know why I have 2 columns here. Maybe I'll just drop it back down to 1 column, but ooh, sorry. Wait, am I sharing this? Yeah, I'm sharing this. Okay, we gotta hop back over here. Yeah. Call for backup. I mean, one of the best cards in the game. It's pretty insane. Okay. Savior says, what's good? Lots of good cards. Yeah, 2026. Savior has been inspiring a lot of my recent games here. Beowulf says Avenge Me is super strong. Yeah, it's not just strong, but it's like so fun. Let's take a look at Avenge Me. Like, okay, this card here, 0 cost upgrade. Play only if your Denny has the Avenger trait. Attach an ally so you can grab to suit up. Max 1 per ally. When the ally is defeated, we draw 2 cards. So this is so cool because it's not ally locked. Really nice. And you just have to have an Avenger hero, and then you need to play an Avenger deck. So if you're playing Spider-Man, you can have like Web Warriors and attach these to all your Web Warriors. If you're playing like, I don't know, Iron Man, you don't need an Avenger deck. You can still just equip to like Nick Fury, Maria Hill, like some shield cards too. So that's just bonkers. Like this card right here, the vibes that it gives me is kind of like Uncanny X-Men, which like the more that I play the game, like I really think Uncanny X-Men's like one of the best like trait lock leadership cards because it gives you that cost reduction, right? I think economy. I don't know if this is a hot take. I think economy might be the most important factor in terms of like strength in Marvel Champions. And economy is just always fun, like right, like drawing cards, having a lot of economy. That's just always a fun thing. So I don't know, like this card kind of rivals in Ken X-Men in that way. Nar says surprise move, right? Surprise move for Hercules with suppressing fire. Yeah. I remember that deck. Crazy healing, overkill efficiency with Herc's kit. Yeah. Julio, welcome to the chat. I hope you're having a good weekend. Yeah, so I mean, I think avenge me here. Like, okay, let's pull up Uncanny X-Men. We'll find it here on Marvel CDB. Like, they're really some Uncanny X-Men, right? This is like probably the strongest card for X-Men. And definitely the best team card, I think. The more I played it, the more I realized like it's even better than I thought. So 3 cost support, one team card per player. Each of your X-Men allies gets +1 hit point. If each of your characters have the X-Men trait, each of your X-Men allies costs 1 for your resource to play. It's really that second effect that really goes insane, making all your allies cheaper. And you can kind of way Avenge Me is like a more low to the ground because only it's free to play at 0 cost instead of 3 costs. But you get that card draw immediately. Or sorry, you don't get the card draw immediately. You get the card draw when the allies play. So like it's kind of like I almost want to say it's similar to Uncanny X-Men. Like you play it and then you just get a boost in economy, and those 2 cards can go towards just resources to play more allies or like play your events or like whatever upwards that you want. Savior says Avenge Me is probably the best card in 2026. I think it might be. Avenge Me is pretty crazy. Beowulf says, do you do training plans to lose weight? So I'm a personal trainer. I'm of the belief that if you I believe that everyone has kind of a different need, something different for them. Not in terms of like the bare bones plan. I think everyone can start on the same thing, but I think there's a lot of exercises that people are like the staples. And I do think that in general, the staple movements are better in terms of like just get more value from doing that one movement, right? Like if you're trying to, I don't know, grow chest, for example, I think a bench press is gonna do a lot more for you than like, I don't know, chest flies, right? I think flies are necessary, but like, you want to do like the big compound lifts. But I think that not everyone can do a bench press like a barbell bench press, right? Like some people may be better with a dumbbell bench press. So yeah, I after I train clients for like a month, we like develop a plan that works like specifically for them. So it's more so like for their body. Like a lot of people that I train have like bad shoulders, so we have to like rehab their shoulders first, and then a barbell bench press is really bad for your shoulders. And if you already have pre-existing shoulder injuries, it could get worse. So then like I might do like dumbbells for them instead, and their shoulders feel okay with that. So it just kind of depends. And then some people like have difficulty getting certain forms down for exercises. Like bench, you want to have like your chest up. Some people like just instinctively cave their chest in when they're doing that. So I think everyone. So I don't really do training plans. I like eventually do it, but like after I know the person I'm training a little bit more and like what fits like how they want to train, I guess, and what's more comfortable for them to do, I guess, right? Because like some people can't do squats because they don't have like a lot of mobility in their hips and stuff. So I think like for a barbell back squat, right? So maybe for them, like a goblet squat might be better, or like lunges or something like that. But yeah, a little bit tangent there. But yeah, I think Avenge Me might be one of the best cards. So I'm gonna put in an amazing card. I'm gonna put in an amazing card, but I think that might be my favorite card. We're not really talking about the overall power cards, just like how fun they are, I guess. And Avenge Me is just a really because I just love that. I mean, you have to be an Avenger, right? But I love just I feel so secure when I have this on an ally because I just know like whenever the ally like dies, like I'm set. Like that ally is setting me up for the future. And that's just a really nice comforting feeling to have. So I really like that. Julio says, I think that Cameo is a great card. Maybe not the strongest, but definitely the most fun card. Ooh, I don't know. It's definitely up there. It's definitely up there. I don't know if it's the most fun card, but let's add it here. Cameo. Okay, here's what we're gonna do with the list. We're gonna say leadership, and then like other aspects. Let's do non-leadership cards because like we have so many leadership cards right now. Like I don't leadership just going crazy right now, which is I don't know if that's right because leadership already has so many cool things, but it's getting a lot here. Yeah, I think Kane was for sure amazing. It's not just like not in terms of its power, but in terms of like how unique it is and what it adds to the game, right? I think it's an amazing card. Like it's definitely not just better than average. It's like above that. It's like a card that kind of changes things, right? Same with Avenge Me, same with Call for Backup. These are all amazing cards from the Hercules Hero Pack. So pretty crazy there. Okay, let me see here. So we got I can't really say enough about this card. Yeah, I really like this card with if you honor revenge yourself, you can play as an alter ego too, which is also super duper cool. Tommy Harper, welcome to the chat. Could you potentially do an updated hero ranking? Would love to hear your thoughts on everyone 2026. Ooh, yeah, I definitely want to do one. Do you mean like a power ranking, right? Yeah, I don't know. I'm still like debating, but I definitely want to do it. I don't know if I should wait till after Daredevil and Defenders come out, or if I should just do one right now. Um, yeah, I don't know. Like, there's so many heroes that are out. Those videos take forever to make, and then I just don't like. If I make one now, I really want to make one after Defenders as well. So like, I have to do two this year, which like I guess I don't mind, but like, when people get sick of that, like it's a lot of the same things. I guess I could like make a little update video. I don't know. I don't know. I definitely want to do one with Daredevil in it. But he's kind of a long ways off, and we haven't got an article yet, so I don't even know when he's coming out, right? So, but yeah, I definitely maybe I'll do one before Fear No Evil with them, maybe like next month or something like that. Julio says it opens so many synergies and fun builds. Yeah, Cameo, yeah, Cameo definitely. Yeah, do we have that? No, that's on Wonder Man. Let's pull up Wonder Man's pack here as well because I feel like we'll be looking hot back and forth here for Wonder Man and Herc. Yeah, Wonder Man, it's crazy because he's a Justice pack. Like he has such like don't even get me started on Strong Together. Oh man, I got to talk about this card too. But yeah, Cameo was a card that I got to review for Fantasy Flight Games, and this card's awesome. I mean, it's got Spider-Man on the art, but also just being able to include any ally from another player's kit in your deck. Really cool. Tommy says power ranking. Yeah, okay. And waiting until Daryl comes out isn't a bad decision. Yeah, I do want to do one before because I think it's been a minute. I think it's been like I don't know what my last power ranking list was. Maybe over a year ago. But yeah. Okay. While we're looking at this coordinated effort, I mean, you guys. So I made a video about this, about how good this is with Cyclops because it's an upgrade you can attach to any encounter card, including the villain card, which the official ruling is that the villain card isn't a counter card. So you give this to the villain. Cyclops now has an upgrade on the villain. He can Optic Blast every single turn forever. And it's not temporary, right? So it stays on the villain. I don't coordinate effort. I don't think this card is like I definitely don't care. I'm definitely sorry, I definitely don't care about it, right? It's at least average. But like just because of what it unleashes for Cyclops, I think it goes in better than average for me. Coordinate effort, right? I think like the bare bones effect of coordinate effort is probably just average, right? Like when paying costs on an encounter card or on the attached card, any player can help you pay for those costs. So that's just like a regular effect. Like I would consider that as average. But the fact that it kind of like breaks Cyclops, it goes in like better than average for me. So I think coordinate effort goes here for me. And it's a tactic upgrade that Cyclops can grab with his alter ego skill. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. Okay, let's go back to Hercules here because Hercules got so many cards. Oh man, here's the threat. I know Saber was telling about this card as well. This card is so awesome. Play only if your deck has the Avenger or Shield trait. When defeated, each player may search their and discard power for an Avenger or Shield card add to your hand. Reduce the cost to play each of those cards by 2 until the end of phase. So it's 1 cost to play a Value threat. You can Thor for it, in True Soul, it's a 2 threat. You clear it off, you grab Maria Hill, you could tutor her, and you can play her for free because you reduce her cost, down to 0. So you get like a body on the table. She draws your card, she enters play. Like, I don't know, guys. Like Avengers are like so cool right now. Like, yeah. So let's put that non-leadership here. Um, evaluate threat is really nice too. Yeah, this card's amazing. I think this card is really cool. Like, it's crazy that this card is here. Because just having a side scheme that's trait locked to Avengers and Shield, and then you add this to like Avenge Me, like so many cool Avenger stuff. What's so cool about these cards, like even more cool about them, is that Hercules, his pack isn't like an Avenger pack, right? We have Deathcry who's Avenger, Thor who's Avenger, but Namora is not an Avenger, right? She's Agent of Atlas and Atlantis, and then Gilgamesh is also not an Avenger. So Hercules isn't like, and then you have Amadeus Cho, who's also not an Avenger, right? Like the ally in his kit. So they gave Hercules Avengers cards, but they're the most versatile ones because they're ones where you just need the Avengers trait to play them. You don't need to build your deck with Avengers. So you can do like a straight up non-Avenger lineup. As long as you're playing Hercules, you can include the Avenge Me. And same for the Evaluate Threat, right? But this card's really with like, it's good with Quinn Carrier, Helicarrier, and the Avengers Mansion too, because I also reduce the cost for those. But you still don't need an Avenger deck to use those cards, right? So I think that's just so cool that they're doing that. Like these are like great Avenger cards, but you don't need to really build anything else in your deck to make that work, right? Unlike the Uncanny X-Men, like in decks where I use Uncanny X-Men, I think this card is really powerful. Like don't get me wrong. And I'm not saying that those other cards are better than this card, but when I'm playing a deck with Uncanny X-Men, I don't even include Nick Fury in the deck because most of the time Nick Fury like makes the deck worse because if each of your characters have the X-Men trait, you get this effect. So like you never want a non-Avenger in play because then it like turns this card off, right? So you kind of are forced to use that same leadership / basic X-Men lineup each time they're using this card. So kind of like I don't know if some people would say that's boring, but yeah, it's definitely not as interesting, I think, as a Evaluate Threat where you can have no Avenger or Shoe cards in your deck. Sorry, allies in your deck, but just have like a Helicarrier or like the Avengers Mansion, and this card can tutor it and help you pay for it. Beowulf says the best part of Evaluate Threat is that it's 2 per. Yeah, that's another crazy thing too. I I so I like love that it's 2 per player. I think that that's a really good like change for the card because it's purposely made in a way where I think it's not as strong as like build support. Because build support and superpower training, they put the card into play. So this card, you get it to your hand, you still have to pay for the actual cost, but you get a cost reduction. But the coolest thing is that it's very versatile because it's an Avenger or a Shield card. So it's not like a support or like an upgrade. It can be a support and it can be an upgrade, but it can be an ally. So you have so many different targets. So I like the versatility in that as well. I almost like this card more than like build support and superpower training because like the versatility is just insane, right? Like you can use this card as a pseudo, like a pseudo build support, right? Like for example, you can grab the Quinn Carrier. It's Quinn Carrier in here somewhere. I don't know where it would be. I guess it would be in Hercules' pack, but the Quinn Carrier is a 3-cost Avenger support. Why don't I pull it up here on uh, Marvel CDB for you guys? Okay, Quinn Carrier, right? 3-cost support. Play only if your identity has Avenger trait and exhaust generate a wild resource. So obviously, build support can just tutor this straight out. So build support is 3 threat though, 3 per player threat. You get this for free. For the Evaluate Threat, if you're just getting Quinn Carrier, it's probably not as good because it's only 2 per player threat. But then you get the Quinn Carrier and you still have to pay 1 resource for it. So like I think it's pretty close. I think build support is better in this case, but I think it's pretty close. Let's say you already have your Quinn Carrier in play and you don't need to get any other support out. Well, you can grab an ally like Nick Fury, who's a Shield card. You can grab any card. And if your hero has like identity-specific upgrades that are Avenger or Shield traded, like you can grab that as well, which is like really, really nice. Beowulf says, I have a rule question on Musion Formula. Okay. The 2B plan says to increase the threat by X. X being the goblin enemies in play. But is X per player or just X? I believe it's just X, actually. Let me pull up the card here and we take a look at it. What is, I don't remember the name of the card. Let's look at Musion Formula on Marvel CDB. I'm not sure if it will pop up. Yeah, it didn't pop. Okay, we're gonna just look up Green Goblin. Okay, let's see here. Green Goblin. We want Mutation Formula. So Illusion and Mutation, I think, is the first main scheme stage. Okay, so yeah, this is just X. So if you're doing like 4 players, it comes in with 4 per player threat, so it's like 16 threat, and this with threat out at 44. But you only add X equals to goblin enemies in play. So this card actually like scales, like it underscales in at higher player counts, right? Like the thing is like at higher player counts, you might have more minions because more of those goblin soldiers and like the goblin thralls come out. So like I think it's hoping that you have like at least 4 goblin enemies in play, but or like maybe 5 like to like get more threat on here. But yeah, if you clear off the board every single turn, you're only adding 1 threat because X would just be equal to 1 for Green Goblin himself. So yeah, this card, it only I think the roughest part is in true solo for this card because if you have like 2 goblin minions plus Green Goblin, it goes up by 3 threat per turn in true solo, which is like terrible. But I think at 2 players, 3 players, it's definitely not as bad. So yeah, this is not scale per player. Beowulf says build support is better 100%. But I think value threat is what player side scheme should have been. Yeah, it's good but not overpowered. Yeah, the thing is like there's times where value threat I think is even better than build support, but I think it's like how you make it better, right? Like it's like the player realizing, okay, in this situation, I want to get an ally to help me out, or like I want to get an upgrade to help me out. I think that that's really unique, and it's definitely I think I like it more than build support because of that reason. So I think it's a more interesting card. But I agree that build support is better. Yeah. Yeah, so many cool cards, guys. Okay, let's see here. Team of card. I mean, team of cards have been really cool recently, so not much to say about that. What about Gilgamesh? He's all right. I'm not a huge fan of him. I think that he's serviceable in any like basic deck or any like deck with like the aspect, right? 3 cost ally, 2 Thor, 3 attack, 6 health. So he has a really good stat line, even when taking 2 consequent damage, because he has to activate 3 times for each one, which is like really good value for 3 cost ally. But when you play him, you basically get confused because no one is eternal yet in Power Champion. So for the cost of confused, I think he's fairly costed at that. Like I think that it's definitely worth the confuse for his ally. So just a super solid ally. But the confuse could be annoying. So yeah, I mean he's nothing special. He's like just a stat stick, right? Like a very good stat stick. But so for me, I don't know if I think he goes in average for me. Like not in terms of power. I think that he's a strong card. I think he's like better than average in terms of like his power, but like he's just not super interesting, like for me. Um it's essentially just like you just get confused, right? And there's not anything that you can do with the confused like that's interesting right now, but there may be cooler stuff in the future. Let's see. Beowulf says for some heroes that don't Thor, Gilgamesh is good. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like for a Hulk, that'd be really nice. Even to have readies, like Iron Man or Magneto. That's another good point. Yeah, if you're playing like Iron Man, who can just use his Mark V helmet to like exhaust it and it counts as a Thor, so you just get rid of that confuse. That's really helpful too. Obviously, if you have steady, that could be helpful. Like I know Hercules can get access to steady. Like a lot of the confusing thing, I think that's like extra upkeep for me too as a player. Like remember that I know I place a confused status on my hero, but sometimes I just don't see it in front of me and I still thwart. And then I had to go back like 5 turns to like fix that. So yeah, I think that might be holding it back for me personally as well. But yeah, definitely a solid ally. And if you have ways to mitigate his confuse, I mean, he's still just a salt. Like he's probably above average in his stat line. Like the confuse, I think makes him balanced. But if you can mitigate that confuse, then he's like just a very efficient ally, which is good. I kind of would prefer like maybe an effect or something though. So yeah, he's definitely not bad though. I just don't think he's as interesting as the other cards that we take far on a list. You should give standard 3 another chance. I have a standard 3 game coming up because a patron just requested that I do a gameplay request with standard 3. So I'll be using it again probably this week. I don't know. I don't know. I think that it's all right. it's just the upkeep. Like the same thing with I'm just hop out for Gilgamesh, and it's like it's crazy because maybe like I feel like I'm definitely in the minority of people that care about this, but like, for this type of effect where I get confused, like I can't count that as like an upkeep thing as well. Just remembering that I am confused because I'm so bad at that. I don't know if you guys do that. Like if you put a tough stats card like on your hero, and then whenever you take damage, you forget you have the tough, even though it's right there. And then you just like reduce your damage, right? I don't know if you guys do that, but that's something that I do. And I wish I didn't do that. So um yeah, okay. Let's see another card here. Oh, this card I hate. I hate this card with a passion. Recruitment Drive. 3-cost support. You can only play this card in Alter Ego. It's Alter Ego form only card, but you can choose the action Alter Ego or hero form. Discard it, choose a player, reduce the resource cost of the next ally the player plays. This phase to 0. So like, you can use the multiplayer to help another player ramp up. It's not max 1 per player, so you can play all 3 at the same time to like save for a future turn. But I mean, I have to play a 4-cost ally or higher in my mind to really like get good value. Because like this card is an effective resource too, right? So actually, you need to play a 5-cost ally, right? Because so if I spend 3 resources, the card Recruitment Drive itself, that's 4 total resources spent, and then I need to play the ally card. So let's say I play Nick Fury, that's another resource there. So it's 5 resources to play Nick Fury when Nick Fury is 5 resources because he's 4 cost. But yeah, so I think you need to have at least a 4-cost ally. Yeah, okay. So I might have said it wrong just now, but if you get a 3-cost ally with this, you're paying more, even though you get the effect like in the future. And yeah, good point for multiplayer. Um, but yeah, I think even then, like for multiplayer, it's the same cost that you have to spend for a 3-cost ally. You need to play a 4-cost ally or higher, and there's not that many that are good without the Recruitment Drive, right? Like for a forecast out, I wanted to be able to afford it and just play it and have value out of it if I don't draw this. And yeah, I think this card did not need Alter Ego form only. I think this card would be pretty good. Like not pretty good. It would be fine and not overpowered without Alter Ego form only. So I think even without this text here, it's not a card that I like love. So this card is probably my least seen. I just don't care about that one. Quickly Drive. This is not a card that I'm excited to play at all. Okay. What else we got here? Ooh, we got the allies here. Okay. Thor I like a lot. Whenever he makes a basic Thor, discard cards on top of the counter until you get a minion. Put it into play, engage with you. So like he's super expensive. He has really good thorning and attacking, and he summons minions for you. So any like, I mean, the thing is that this ally is best for the Thor hero, which he can't use because of the unique rule. But like, if you multiverse rules, this card's so good for Thor. But I like that you can get a minion and it get 3 thwarting. So that's pretty nice. So Thor here in, I think it's better than average. I'm gonna put him here. The other ones, that's interesting. I'm gonna put Death Cry in more. Like they both don't have like crazy effects. They're like just stat sticks at the end of the day, right? You can do your hero damage to have her take less consequence damage. So it's kind of like a stat stick type of effect. And the more standing, she gets more hit points for each ally you control. So like also like a stat stick type of effect. So guys, I are they? I don't think they're not their power, but in terms of like how interesting they are, I don't think they're that interesting. So yeah, I think they just go here for me. More Death Cry. Let's see. Chico Rex, so welcome to chat. Julio, I see Recruitment Drive as a resource thing for multiplayer. Some characters can have dead hands, like Bishop, who has a bunch of resource cards, and it's a nice sync. That's true, but like, so in that case right there, right, where Recruitment Drive is like a nice resource, if this card wasn't in your deck, you might have like a better card to just play that turn, right? You might just have that ally in your hand already to play it, like right away instead of drawing this. So like, I agree. It's nice. Like maybe you're maxed on your ally limit. This can save you a future ally for a future turn. But I think the alter ego form only thing also kind of wrecks the resource sink because um actually I don't know about all resource sinks, but like the pull after resource sinks are usually hero actions. So like you can't. I mean, obviously this is leadership, so you can't play both tic tac toe and like recruitment drive unless you're playing like a multi aspect hero. But like this is an alter like it just didn't need this. I think that this thing just really hurts it. Yeah, because whenever I played the Hercules Precon deck, I think we lost that game. I wanted to use this card so many times, but I wasn't in Artigo form because there's so few allies in the deck. It would be useful to get this on the table, but I just couldn't afford it because I was in hero form and I couldn't afford to flip down because of the threat. Chigarex says, "Hi, I agree. I think it's not very good even in multiplayer." Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards that as well. It's too costly for no immediate advantage. Also, Artigo condition. Yeah. I'm not. Yeah, this is probably the biggest miss for me. Let's say like let's add a. I'm gonna add another hero here. Biggest miss. There's only one card. Like so, favorite card's only one card, and then biggest miss only one card here. I think I'm gonna put recruitment driver. Like we may change it. We see another card that I think it's like worse, but this card I personally I don't like this card at all, guys. So let's put it there. Julio says, yeah, the RTO only. Yeah, it really hurts the card. Yeah, I agree. It's not great. Yeah, I don't know if anyone like is a big fan of the card. Like I think that it could be fun to try to make it work, but I think that if you're playing a deck, even a multiplayer, to like try to force this card to work, I think there's just so many other fun things you could do instead of like, I don't know, trying to under average type of card, like be good. I don't know. Chico Rex says, you had the Avengers compound, which could basically do the same as recruitment drive. If your allies are not more than 3 cost, it just doesn't work for other players. Right. I think that's another like tuck thing, right? Where is that? I thought that Hercules pack. Are we missing cards right now on Hall of Heroes, guys? What's going on? Avengers Con is definitely Hercules. Is it the bottom here? No, it's not. I don't. What the heck? I swear I've seen it on Hall of Heroes before. Maybe they just update or something. Okay, let's look up Avengers Compound. But now we don't get to see the card because Marvel CDB is a little bit slow on the card art. So I can't see the card here. So sad. Like I don't know about you guys. I don't like reading the text here. I like reading the text on card. I don't know if anyone else feels like that. Oh, Chigaressa says it's from Wonder Man. Oh man. Okay, I didn't know that. Let's pull up Wonder Man. That might be why I thought I saw it. Yeah, you're right. You're right. My bad. My bad, guys. It is on a Wonder Man, not Hercules. Okay. So zero cost support. Play only if your deck has Avenger trait. So this is cool again, right? Because you just need the Avenger trait to play it. Your ally does not have to be an Avenger. Action, you can use alter ego or hero form. Exhaust it. Choose a tuck ally from your hand here if there's no ally tucked here, or play the ally tucked here as if you're in your hand. Yeah. So yeah, I think this card is. It's still not like crazy like that resource sink to save the ally. I think for Hulk and like just low economy heroes like Hercules as well, this card is a lot better. But I think it's still about average for me. So I'm gonna Avengers Compound here. It's not really like a card that because you only tuck one ally there anyways. Yeah, it's not. It's not. Oh wait, did I put it? I don't care. Sorry, I meant to put it in average. It's not a card that I don't care about. I care a little about it. I care a little bit about it. Yeah, put that there. Okay. Let's see. Let's look through Hercules here. Is there any more cards that we haven't went through? These. I think we went through all of Hercules cards here. That was kind of quick. This might be a quick stream, guys. You guys know I love games for myself because my throat can handle speaking so much. But I think we basically went through all the notable cards I want to talk about for Hercules. Ancient Rivalry is a team of card, so it's as interesting as if you have a chance to use it. So if you're playing like Hercules and Thor, or if you're playing like Hercules with Thor in there, we can talk about the card here because I think we're really good on time. So Ancient Rivalry, team up, you need Hercules and Thor to play it. Hero action, search your discard pile for an identity specific upgrade, add to your hand, ready Hercules and Thor. So this card I realized from my 2-player game with them, or with my 2-handed game with Hercules and Thor. I don't like this card with Thor. I don't think it's that good with Thor, even whenever you have both of them permanently on the table, because there's not like that many upgrades that Thor wants, right? You want your what is it? Your God of Thunder, right? That's an upgrade. But once you play it, is never gonna leave play again. So you once you get both God Thunders down, especially if you draw them before you draw this card in your first deck pass, like you're probably playing that over over this, right? Yeah. So get that down. And then Thor really just wants to get his hammer, I guess, right? That's kind of like the only other upgrade, right? Let's look at Thor's cards. I don't like I feel like this team up card was made for Hercules, which is like unfair because I think this is Thor's only team up card that he has in a game, right? How come he can't get a team up card that works better for his kit? That's not fair at all. Like, let me see. What upgrades does Thor have? So he's got this. Those are no upgrades. Support events. Oh, he's got the helmet. So like, okay, like Mjolnir is the like only upgrade that's not permanent because when you hammer throw, you return Mjolnir back to your hand. Also, Thor wants to just recur Mjolnir a lot, so it's often a caught off guard target for me. So like it's this, and this, but these other upgrades are all permanent. So once I play them, like they'll never be in my discard pile again. So like I don't ever need to use Ancient Robbery to grab it. But this card is so good for Hercules because yeah, Hercules has a bunch of upgrades as well. But he has so many of these like small upgrades that if you lose one or you have to spend as a resource, it's a really nice way to grab back to your hand. So that's more beneficial than Thor because you have 1, 2, 3, 4 of these like small upgrades. So you get it back to your hand. And then even after you have all your upgrades down, the line of Olympus is so good. Like I love this card for Hercules. Cost upgrade, it's temporary, so you discard it in the round. So it'll always be in your discard pile. You get +1 Thor, plus attack, and plus defense. And for a hero that readies as much as Hercules with 2 Sons of Zeus and like the auto include in deck, which is the 3 stamina. I mean, I think that this card is just super good. And being able to grab it with the ancient rivalry is like a game changer. So yeah, this card is really good for okay, we're gonna go ahead and put it here. I think it's I don't know. Where do we put it? I think let's say ancient rivalry. Amazing for Herc. Herc. Trash for Thor. That's my thoughts on that. I think the ready is okay. It's not, yeah, because you need both in play to really do it effect. Beowulf says Hawkeye Ally came out in 2026. Yeah. That the yellow Hawkeye Ally. Let's talk about it. Yeah, let's jump over to Wonder Man here because I think we're done with all Hercules cards. Wonder Man has just so many cool cards, different aspects too, which is like just pretty insane. So Hawkeye, he's probably the standout of this bunch here. I don't know if I would say he's the strongest because Firebird is pretty powerful, but he's definitely the most interesting. I really Sentry is really interesting too, though. I do like Sentry a lot, but yeah, I think Hawkeye here, he's so cool, guys. Okay, so much like similarities to the leadership Hawkeye from the core set, but the art's just way cool. The core set art for Hawkeye. I don't know if you guys agree with me on this one. I like this pie star on that one. I don't know if that's a hot take. I don't think it's a hot take. I feel like you guys, right? Like, am I tripping? Is this me or like does the art here like totally stink? Like this art is not cool at all. It's like the coolest Hawkeye art you can like ever get. He looks so freaking cool here. I don't know what it like. He looks so cool here. Okay, so yeah, the art is just like popping off. So same stat line as the leadership one. 3 cost, 3 hit points, 1 Thor, 1 attack. Comes to play with 4 air counters, same effect. But he's Avenger and Shoe. The other one is only Avenger. So like that's pretty nice that you get the shoe trade there for like global logistics and all that stuff. Response to Admiral Ally makes a basic Thor. Remove a counter from here to deal 2 nation minion. So like he can come out Thor for 1 and do 2 damage with his own response off his own Thor activation on the turn he's played, which is like just really good value. Very good tempo too. I mean, yeah. So yeah, he's super duper fun. What's the cool? I mean, yeah, just like have a bunch of allies out there all Thor for you. What's really cool is after any ally Thors. So if you're playing this in multiplayer, like with another leadership player, like they can just Thor so much, and then you can like do all the damage, like 8 damage to minion in 1 turn, which just is insane for like a 3 cost ally that can like activate twice and block for you. So this guy's so cool. This guy's amazing. Let's so Hawkeye. Hawkeye is so cool, guys. Yeah, Hawkeye definitely goes here. Justice. Okay, let me do a poll here. What do you guys think about these four Justice allies that came on race pack? Which one do you think is the most interesting or like fun? Let's see. So we'll do coolest Justice ally in 2026. And then what the heck? How do we no wait, sorry, I did the wrong thing. That's Q&A. I need to do a poll. Okay, coolest Justice ally. I think Sentry. I don't know. Let's see if I like Sentry more. I'm gonna go with Sentry next year. Sentry's theme is just so good too. Let's see what you guys think. So okay, let's look at Sentry. Okay, so Sentry here, 3-cost ally. Okay, he's Aerial Avenger. His stat line is insane for 3-cost ally, right? 5 hit points, 2 thwart, 3 attack. That's just like super good. He has a force sponsor, so you have to trigger this whenever when you play him. And it's when he enters plays as well. So if you make the call, same thing. So each time Sentry enters play, you have to search the encounter deck for his side scheme and you reveal it. If there are no side schemes, you play 6-star on the main scheme. So, like, if he enters play with a side scheme that has 2 per player threat and you're playing true solo, he can throw it out himself, right? If the side scheme has like one revealed effect, that's nasty because you have to review the side scheme. So I think it's pretty scenario dependent. There's times where I wanted to play him even without when I know there's no more side scheme in the encounter deck, because adding 6 starts to the main scheme isn't that bad and he helps you thwart it immediately. So like if this is not pop the main scheme, so I think what's fun about him is that he's not good in every situation, but in a situation where you don't have any more side schemes and adding 6 start does not pop the main scheme, he's really good. And in a situation where there's a really, really weak side scheme with no one revealed effect, he's also really good. So yeah, he's a really fun card. I like the design is just like off the chain. Like the design is just so cool. So whether or not you think he's good or not, I think his design, I think he's an amazing card, right? Or is he just better than average? I think he's amazing. I think the design is just so cool. And like 5 hit points with that style line, 1 constant damage for each one. He can activate like swing for a total of 15 damage or thwart for 10 threat removal. Right? That's just really cool. Bill says it's a good line of allies. Yeah, it's a very nice lineup for allies here. What are you guys voting? Let me see. Oh man, okay. No one voted for Sentry, poor Sentry, and no votes for Scarlet Witch, just Firebird, Hawkeye. Yeah, let's take a look at Firebird next year. So Firebird, I mean, she's really cool. 2-cost ally, 2 thwart, 2 attack, and 2 hit points, but 2 constant damage for attacking. I mean, this is just still an amazing stat line because you just want to thwart, especially with 2-cost ally. So like, just crazy, crazy good stat line already. If you overpay for it, put a rebirth counter on her. Enter winner, she will be defeated by constant damage. Remove a counter to heal all damage from her instead. So, like, if you're getting full value out of her, if you pay 3 costs for her to just thwart, you can thwart once. You thwart again, she will be defeated by constant damage. So you heal her instead. She's back to 2 health. You thwart again, and you can thwart again. So, like, she basically has, for thwarting, she has 4 health. You can thwart 4 times to get 8 threat off a 3-cost ally, or thwart 3 times and have her chump block. So like, it kind of depends how you do it, but like there's a way to where she's like super duper like efficient for if you overpay for her, right? So for a 3-cost ally. Um you can also put an attack in there whenever she's about to get defeated, like with her last hit point there, because then you heal all that damage instead of taking constant damage. So she's pretty interesting too. So yeah, I feel like the fact that like they just made like, oh man, it's like this ally, it's like this ally is so it's kind of just a stat stick, right? But the way they did it with like the overpay and the 2 constant damage for attacking, 1 consequential for thwarting, makes her almost like a unique puzzle. So this is like way more interesting than if they were to do ally that's like, for example, they do a 3-cost ally with 4 health and then same stat line for the thwart and attack. Like that's boring. It has no effect and does that. But her, you have the versatility to pay 2 costs, have her thwart, have her chump block, or overpay and get the other effect where you can like have her heal. So like the actual effect itself isn't amazing, but the way that like in terms of like its efficiency and stuff, but the way it's packaged is very, very awesome. Like, yeah, I feel I'm just glazing all these cards, but I mean, she's awesome. Like I feel like the way that's packaged is really cool. Like they could have done this in a way more boring way, but the way that it's done, I mean, she's super, super cool. So definitely like she's definitely like way better than Namor and Deathcry for me. I think these are way more, and I think she's more better than better than Thor as well. Um, like a lot of these allies. Okay, you know what? You know what? I'm gonna drop Sentry. I think because like the way I'm looking at when I look at this row right here, I feel like these cards are so interesting, and I think that all these cards are pretty cool. But I think Sentry, I don't know if Sentry belongs in the same tier as them. Because, like, if you're playing Justice, Firebird and Hawkeye are always going to be ally considerations for any Justice deck, in my opinion. I think that, like, now when I look at a Justice deck and I'm like building a Justice deck, I mean, I always look at cards like Blindfold, Wiccan. These are like my Justice staples, right? I think that Firebird and Hawkeye are now in that like same like breath, right? Like every single Justice deck that I'm building, I'm always looking at Hawkeye and Firebird. I don't think I'm looking at Sentry every single time. Because of the negative effects that he has. So yeah, let's take Sentry off. We'll drop it to better than average. Yeah, I feel like that's a more fair spot for him. Because these are cards that like I'm really interested in using, and I can like build decks around too, right? And like Ancient Robbery, I think if you're playing Hercules, that's always a consideration for you. Um, Especially if you have like Thor in your deck, like Thor ally. So I mean, this card really doesn't belong on the list because it's like a team of card. It's not like crazy or anything. It's just like nice and fun for Hercules. Bill says, I don't think they are staples, but they are above average. Okay, what would you say is a Justice staple then? Because like do you consider so I was talking about Wiccan and Blindfold. Let's see here. So like is Wiccan, I gotta share this topic. Would you consider Wiccan a Justice staple? Because like I consider him like obviously I don't include him in every Justice deck, but like he's like a high contender on like lists for Justice decks. Oh, Dazzler. Okay, okay. Let's pull up Dazzler here. Um, I think we might have different criteria. I like Wiccan and Blindfold more than Dazzler. I include them in more of my Justice decks. Dazzler is not always in consideration. Um, yeah, I mean the Confuse is good, but for cost, I don't know. I feel like she's definitely a good ally. She's I don't know, she's just not as big for me as like I think if I were building a Justice deck, I think because also in my mind, I I think it's fair to say I'm kind of biased against Sasses too. So like if I'm facing because I'm always mindful about facing steady or star enemies, and Dazzler I think is just like much worse against them, right? Because her ability is basically to, confuse the enemy. So like Wiccan to me is like a tier above Dazzler, and I'll consider Hawkeye and Firebird also a tier above Dazzler, I think. But if you're facing like if you know the villain you're facing and you're building a deck for that, I think that you could definitely make the case that Dazzler is better than those allies. Yeah, but I feel like yeah, Bill says Wiccan too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I definitely see the case for that. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Let's see what else we got for Wonder Man. Okay, so we went through all the allies. So you guys voted for 67% of the votes for Hawkeye. We have one vote for Sentry and one for Firebird. Yeah, pretty nice. But yeah, majority of people just voted for Hawkeye here. Okay, and then let's see. We have Battlefield Benevolence next. Oh, this card is so cool. So I had the pleasure of revealing this card as well. One cost event, tactic, hero action, huge damage to enemy. Any enemy, you confuse the enemy. I've used it on minions before. So use it on a minion or on the villain. Yeah, this card's nice. This card's really nice. Like a confuse event for justice for one cost. That's pretty nice. Like it's such a cheap way to confuse that like even if the enemy is steady, this is not a big deal for it. It's really stalwart where this card is not good. Um yeah, and I think the thing with justice is that justice is I almost feel like justice is lacking. It's how do I say it? I feel like justice does not have as much confused builds as I would like. Beowulf says Battlefield is a staple for confused log, but no, yeah, I do agree with that. Like, yeah, like because you want to put like 3 copies and like get the full confused. So like when I'm thinking about justice for confusion, I'm thinking about Battlefield Benevolence now. I'm thinking about Sonic Rifles, and I'm thinking about what's the other card? Think Fast, but that's only for Guardians. So I guess people don't know. So like this is another great way to like I consider this card really good. Play only if it has a Guardian trait though, right? So it's trade locked to Guardians. So like this is a definitely solid card, but it's only for Guardians. And I was thinking about, oh yeah, Upside the Head is another card. So Upside the Head. So like Battlefield Benevolence to me is just better than Upside the Head, because Upside the Head you have to make a basic attack and damage the enemy to confuse enemy. If the enemies are confused stun instead. So like if there's a Guardian, you can't confuse the villain with this. Battlefield Benevolence is better card, I think. No. Upside the Head came better. If the enemies are confused, you can stun it with Upside the Head. But if you're looking for the confuse effect only and you just care about that confuse, Upside the Head is strictly worse than Battlefield Benevolence. So I actually like the balance. I like Upside the Head came better if you want that stun. But yeah, Battlefield Benevolence is just like a great card. You just have 3 copies of it. Same as like the Sonic Rifle or Upside the Head. Like, it's a great way, or Think Fast. So this card is really cool. Beowulf says Upside the Head, Dazzler. Yeah. If you're going like a confused deck, you have to have Dazzler. So like I think any deck with Battlefield Benevolence also has Dazzler in it. But I think Battlefield Benevolence can be a more. It's weaker than Dazzler. I think Dazzler is stronger because she's an ally with the confuse. But Battlefield Benevolence is a more consistent one because you can have 3 copies of it in your deck. So yeah, and the thing for me that I really like about this card, I mentioned a few times, the archetype of healing 2 damage to an enemy to confuse that enemy. I would love for Justice to be the heal the enemies, like heal the villain to get other effects, right? Like hero action, heal 2 damage to an enemy, remove 3 there from a scheme. Stuff like that would be so interesting. So like the fact that it just like kind of teases that we might get more cards like that is also super. So this card goes amazing for me. Yeah, I'm gonna put it over here. Battlefield Benevolence. I think that card's super cool. And the flare is like really nice too. Yeah. Okay. Oh man, these cards are pretty cool. Okay, let's talk about Bombs Away. I think that one's super easy to talk about. I don't like this card. This is a reprint, but like I don't think we needed it. 2-cost event, hero action, exhaust an area character you control, choose a player, do 3 damage to the villain, HP engage the player. So like, whoops, clicked on the wrong thing. How to get out of this? Okay. So like this card, yeah, I'm not a fan of this card. It's one of my least. I don't. I'm not gonna say it's my least favorite aerial card. There's a lot of aerial cards I'm not a big fan of, but I think this card is really good if you can exhaust an aerial ally. I think it's really good for that. I think if you exhaust your aerial hero, you really need a lot of minions, and you need the 3 damage to kill. This also bypasses guard because non-attack, so you also don't take retaliate, so that's nice. So it's like a non-attack event. But yeah, I mean it's not like the worst thing. I don't think we need a reprint. I don't think anyone's asking for a reprint of it. So is it average? I'm gonna put in don't care. I really don't care about this card. Bombs Away. Yeah. Beowulf says, but beyond the cards we have talked about, Everywhere All at Once is the best door card we have in Just. Ooh, shame it's only aerial. I don't know if I think it's the best. Let's look at it. I know it's the best for Wonder Man. I don't know if it's the best in general. Okay, this card's a little bit confusing too. So play only if you have the area trait, so it's trait locked to area. Hero action door, choose X schemes equal to the cost you pay for the card. Remove 2 that from each chosen scheme, and 3 that instead if you overpay for the card. So like if you're playing a non-Wonder Man hero, okay, if X is 1, if you need to thwart the main scheme, you pay 1 cost to take 2 threat off of the main scheme. This is not great. You could also pay 2 costs, right? Because you declare X to be 1 and you overpay for 1. So it's 2 costs. But then you get 3 threat because you overpaid for it. So then it's 2 costs to remove 3 threat. So if you're looking like from a true solo like lens of throwing like the main scheme, it's 1 for 2 or 2 for 3. I don't think we want that. I think that's worse than like, like 4 justice for the core set, because that's potentially 2 or 4, right? Nar Antler says, I see everywhere all at once as a great Venom Goblin tech. Yeah. So if you're facing Venom Goblin who has 3 main schemes, so they're like always on a table, I think everywhere all at once. Like, is it better than multitasking? Let's see if it's better than multitasking, like for Venom Goblin. Because multitasking is kind of like the card that people go to for Venom Goblin. Like they're like, okay, that's the card we gotta use in Venom Goblin. So 1 cost event, remove 2 that from a scheme, and then let's just assume you pay for it with a mental kicker, remove 2 that from a different scheme. So it's 1 cost to take 4 threat off if there's a scheme. Whoops, wrong thing. So you get 4 threat off. Okay. If we go back to Ever All at Once, if I pay 1 cost, so you have to pay 2 cost here, right? And declare X to be 2 to get the same effect as multitasking. Whoops. Sorry, guys. So like, yeah, for this, you need X to be 2. Then you choose 2 schemes, remove 2 from each chosen scheme. So if it's just like short little bursts of thwarting, I think multitasking is actually still better. But wherever all at once really pops off is if you choose X to be 3, I think that's where it's really good. So if X is 3, you take 2 threat from 3 different schemes. That's 6-star removal for 3 cost. So that's the exact same as what's the card called? Crisis Averted. Right? So shares tab. So like that's the same as this, right? 3 costs for 6 threat. So then Ever All at Once is like pretty good there. Like, because Crisis Averted is kind of known as like a pretty solid card for justice. But then if you overpay by 1, so 4 cost for 3 times 3, because 3 threat off of 3 schemes, 9 threat, 4 cost for 9 threat. I think that's where it starts to be worthwhile. I think that's where it starts to be like worthwhile. So I think the more expensive you make this card, the more worthwhile it is. I feel like if you declare X to be 4 and you overpay for it, so you pay 5 for it, right? If you pay 5 for it, you can remove 3 threat from 4 different schemes, so 12 threat removal for 5 cost. Yeah, I don't know. I think that I think that there's a situation where it's decent. I don't know. I'm the biggest fan of this card, but I know a lot of people love it. And I think for Wonder Man, it's very, very good. Like a lot better than what I just said, because Wonder Man has an easier way to overpay with the Mr. Hollywood. Bill says you have to look at it on expert level. You have a pretty good chance of having side scheme out or 3. Sorry, even depending on the scenario. Yeah, it's just because it's an event, so it's like if you don't draw it when you have the side scheme out, or when you draw it, but that's a turn you don't have a side scheme, it's just not going to work out. So I just feel like because of that, I'm personal. I think a lot of people like this card a lot more. I like either going to be better than average or average for this. I don't think I'm using it that much, to be honest. I think for Wonder Man, it's better than average, possibly amazing. But I think for non-Wonder Man, it just goes here. It just goes average for me. What's the card? Everywhere. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this card. I know some people are a lot more high on it than I am, but I'm not the card. Okay. This card, I'm a huge fan of. Strong Together. Beowulf says a lot of scenarios start with side scheme right at the start. Yeah, but what if you don't draw the Ever All at Once? And is that the card you want to play on turn 1? Because so if you have a side scheme to start off the game, if it's a crisis side scheme, you won't be able to remove that from the main as well, because it's 1 threat at once. So like it has to not be a crisis. And a lot of scenarios have the crisis side scheme on turn 1. If you play a player side scheme is even better. So like it's like how much like especially you're talking about the turn 1 of it, right? So we're talking about turn 1. If I want to take 3 threat off of 2 different schemes, we need to pay 3 costs for the card. Plus the card itself, that's 4 resources. So like if your hand is, 6 card hand size, on your first turn, if you have a player's side scheme, you play the player's side scheme and then you play the Ever all at once, you can take 3 threat off the main scheme, which might be overkill. I don't know if any scenario has 3 threat to start off. I mean, Mojo does, but I think most scenarios don't have 3 threat on the main scheme. So like you're overkilling the main scheme, but you get the side scheme out, but then you like may not have an ally to block unless the side scheme like gets you an ally. I don't know. I feel like I don't think there's that many cases. Like for this card, when I'm using with Wonder Man, I don't really play until I get Mr. Hollywood out anyways. Like it's not a card that I prioritize using unless I actually have Mr. Hollywood. So yeah, I am personally not a big fan of that card. Yeah, but this card, Sharon, I think this card is freaking amazing. I want to make a deck focusing more on this card. So 0 cost event, hero interrupt. When a character other than your hero would take any amount of damage, the character shares a trait with your hero, reduce that damage by your defense. Card I would not have thought was very, like, I wasn't hyper whenever we saw it, but I love this card so much. It's like a 0 cost event that basically prevents your ally from taking consequential damage. That's crazy because that's an interesting card. Like if a card just does that straight up, like a 0 cost leadership event says, when an ally activates interrupt, they don't take consequential damage. So like something like that. That's effectively what this does, but I don't know if I would normally say that was good, but it is good. It's not just, so I use it for that effect most of the time, but it's not just for that, right? So when any character would take any amount of damage. So if like, yeah, there's indirect damage you can put on your ally, play strong together. If you're playing multiplayer, when another character would take damage, if they have a trait with your hero, you can just play it. This is not trait locked, right? So you can play this with Avengers, Web Warriors, X-Men. Yeah, this card is awesome. I like, it's very unique. It's very fun, and I just want to build more decks with it. So I'm gonna put it here in cards. What's the name of the card? Strong Together. Yeah, Strong Together. Really nice. Strong Together. Bill says, I think Justice really doesn't have a lot of good Thor events. That's true, but the thing is, like, a lot of heroes have those Thor events to make up for it, So, like, the heroes have their identity-specific Thor events that are, like, above curve than Justice ones. And, like, the few Justice ones that are the better ones, I think are better than it, right? Like, multitasking, we just looked at, and multitasking is not a card that I'm, like, a big fan of. Like, I'm not really big on multitasking. I know a lot of people love the card. I think it's better, like, generally than the Everywhere all at once, unless you're playing Wonder Man. And then I think that For Justice is better, and I think that Clear Area is better too. So, like, I feel like that's, I don't know, I feel like that's enough. Nar Antler says 4 for 9 is really good resource efficiency for thwarting. The problem is that it's so hard to get that efficient. To get to that efficiency, it's almost your entire turn. Yeah, especially, yeah, all correct. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. Like, it's not. It came very good. I think there's a few times where I got it to pop off like that, like killing like 4 side schemes in one like big push, which is like amazing. Like when that happens, that's amazing. But I feel like you need so many things to go right, like, and wrong, because you need sides in play for like several turns, or your villain keeps giving you side schemes, and you want them all be like 3 per player threat, and you're playing true solo, right? So it's like a lot of things. But when that lines up and you just play a big ever all at once, kill 4 side schemes, that's like the craziest thing ever. Yeah. Bill says, but for solo in multiplayer, what door events are good? I mean, multitasking is generally considered, I think, a door event for multiplayer, right? And I feel like For Justice is super solid in multiplayer too, right? Just, I mean, 2 cost to remove 4 threat. Yeah, I mean, I feel like Clear Air is probably the only one that like is considered more so for true solo. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like those are pretty good, and I know that Crisis Averted. I mean, Villain Theory, like, basically begged me to include that card in my Spider-Man deck whenever we were playing against Thanos. Like, I didn't have it in the deck, and he was like, I think you should put like Crisis Averted. So like, I feel like that card is also like pretty good. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's a decent amount of card Like this card is really only for hard play accounts, right? Because in True Soul, this card's not that good because 6 threats like overkill. I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I kind of want, it's weird. I do think it's an interesting way to event. Maybe if it wasn't aerial locked, I might have liked it more too because I could try with more heroes. To finish the conversation, everywhere all at once. If I have the aerial trait, I will include one. You mean like one copy of the card? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I probably wouldn't, but I definitely am not mad at that. Let's look at look at heroic conditioning. Oh man, yeah, this card is okay. We should look at Let's just do heroic conditioning first. This card is super simple. 3 cost upgrade, +3 hit points, gets +1 Thor for a hero. This card's awesome. It's amazing. It's an amazing card. Yeah, I think easily an amazing card. It's pretty bland, but just to get another way here, but just to get another way to add this card here, that just feels super nice. Like that's just really nice, guys. Like to add Thor to your Thor, like to increase your Thor stat. There's no other way to do it in the game other than the heroic intuition, right? And the surveillance specialist. So Bill says, well, one copy you will never know when you will have 3 sides in the jar. Yeah, true. So yeah, I think this card, yeah, super easy. We put in there. And then Unified Strike. When an ally uses a basic power, exhaust your hero. Add your hero's matching power to ally's power for use. The ally does not take console damage. So this card, I was really big on it before I started using it. I think it's still a great card. I just hate the hero exhaust on it. I think it's fair. It's fair to get the hero exhaust. So you're basically paying it's 0 cost, so it's 1 effective resource. You have to play the card itself. And you play the card, the ally does not take consequential damage. And you just combine the stats of your hero and the ally. So like I think it's very well worth it to not take consequential damage because you're still basically getting activation from your hero because they get exhausted and you add the stat. I just find myself not able to play this as much whenever my hero is already exhausted, right? So like once again, I think if there's like the main value of this card, I think, is the ally does not take constant damage. That's like the added value. The ally does not take constant damage is where this card like really separates itself. So, and obviously it's good with like brute force Wonderman, of course, because like Wonderman's a few heroes that can build out his stat, and he can include a Lucio card even though he's playing aggression. So like obviously you're playing a build like that, this works very, very well because you don't want to make base attacks. So like that's the case where like it's fine. But like other than that, I feel like I don't know. I don't like the exhaust of your hero, but then like the main effect is this, but I can't play the card if I'm already exhausted. So like it's still really, really, really interesting card though. Like don't get me wrong. I think it'd be an amazing card. I just found myself always exhausted whenever I need to use it. But I think that's more of a me problem. Oh wait, this card is leadership. Unified Strike. Bill says, no favorite on leadership. I hope Jarvis is going to be good. I was disappointed. Yeah, I think Jarvis sucks. No favorite on leadership. I don't know yet. I think, okay, let's go ahead and put Avenge. I think Avenge be my favorite, right? I think I like these a lot more than Unified Strike. But I think Avenge Me is probably my favorite. We may drop it back down depending on whatever cards that we can see, but I think it's going to be Avenge Me. Yeah, this card is pretty cool. And then for non-leadership, I think Evaluate Threat. I want to play this card more, the Strong Together. If I play it more, I may pick this, but I think right now Evaluate Threat. Let's see what else we got though before we pick our favorite cards. Okay, so okay, so these cards are pretty good. Swordsman, guys. Okay, let's talk about Jarvis because Bale was talking about Jarvis here. How many other cards we got left? Bunch left here for Wonderman. Jarvis. 2 cost support, Avenger Persona, response after Avenger hero changes alter ego, exhaust Jarvis and choose. I don't like the card. Yeah, I agree with you, Bale. This card's not good. The identity gets plus recovery to the end of phase, or this card stats cover your identity. So like you have the versatility in choosing. Like you can be using multiplayer kind of, right? So, but like I rather just have a downtime to 1 cost, get plus recovery. If Jarvis was 1 cost, that'll make him okay. The fact that he's 2 costs, I can never play him. And this effect is not worth it for 2 cost. Beowulf says maybe if he was 1 cost. Yeah, totally agree. Yeah, if he was 1 cost, like, he'll be okay. But he's a huge miss right now. So I'm gonna put him here for now. And we'll see if there's another card. But I think he was the biggest miss. He was a card that I was pretty excited for too. So I'm not gonna say I think just like the flair of it is like pretty cool. But the actual use of the card practically is not that good. Yeah, so Jarvis, big miss. Now, Swordsman is not a miss. Swordsman is really nice. 4 cost ally, 2 door, 2 attack, 4 hit points, attacks at piercing. That's like not bad. It's like good. There's nothing wrong with that, right? It's nothing like insane, but it's definitely like average to slightly better than average. The hero response here is the part that's crazy. So after a boost card is turned face up, I love effects that you can use after the boost because then you can have more like time to choose what you want to do after you see all your options. After a boost is turned face up during an undefended attack, declares swordsman as a defender without exhausting him. That's such a interesting ability that I am just so happy to see in the game as a basic ally too. My only complaint would be that if the enemy is attacking with overkill, you can make swordsman defender, but the overkill will still hit your hero. Kind of wish he blocked the whole hit. Like if he like bypassed overkill, that would be nice. He doesn't do that. But yeah, I mean it's nice because like if you have 3 hit points left and Claw attacks you, Claw has 0 attack, but he gets 2 boost cards. So he has very high variance. He could hit you for 0 or hit you for like 6, right? So this is like the perfect ally against Claw. Because then you just phase tank Claw's attack. You don't defend. And then if Claw gets 0 boosters, like 2 0 boosters, you just take the hit to face 0 damage. It's fine. If Claw gets 6, then he got swordsman block for you. So you can just choose then, right? So I just love choosing after boost. This card is just like freaking cool. Beowulf says swordsman is good enough, not overpowered. Yeah. I don't think it's overpowered. I think it's very, very cool. Fun, definitely. Yeah. The piercing is an amazing touch. Yep. Nariano says, yeah, he's great for taking a risky hit. Yeah. Swordsman here for sure. Amazing. I'm gonna put him very high up here. So yes, but Swordsman is so cool. Super duper cool guy. Yeah. All right. What else we got here? Caught in a crossfire. I think this is a card that Nariano was talking about, right? I don't know if I'm a big fan of this one though. 0 cost upgrade attached to a non-elite minion, max 1 per minion. When a friendly character attacks, do 1 damage to attached enemy. It's not bad. It's definitely like worth its 0 cost. I just wish you could do it to any minion. I just hate these non-elite minion effects. Does it break the game? Like, I don't know. Because most of the time, when I want this card the most is usually for an elite minion. That's my issue with it. It's not bad though. I'm gonna put it in above average. Better than average here. So I think there's cool builds that you can do with that card for sure. Okay, we've already talked about cameo, coordinate effort. And this is the last card here, I think. Yeah, the last card here, disarming defense. 1 cost event. We've seen this spoiled by the Facebook and like Discord and in Reddit groups. Here interrupt defense. When you're here defense against attack, you get +2 for the attack. So like similar to like a lot of defense events. If you take no damage, so perfect defense, discard attachment on the attack enemy with the text hero action or hero response. So I was a lot bigger on this card whenever it was first like previewed. I think I'm less hyped on it now. I just feel like for a card like this, only good for perfect defense because you need to block out all the damage. This type of effect is usually not a perfect defense type of effect. Like, I wish like it was like when you hear defense against attack, you get +2, and then maybe just pop it off without. I don't know. I guess that would be too powerful. The fact that you need to build a whole perfect defense engine to make sure you can guarantee blocking out damage for this, like you need like your armor vest, you need like other stuff to like buff your defense stat, your defense conditioning and stuff. So I feel like I don't know. And then for perfect defense, I'd rather have desperate defense for that, right? Because that gives me the red, which works for every single build. So like, Ornario says disarming defense is a frustrating Ronin tech because it's hard to take no damage. Yeah, and it's like it's best for Ronin. It's good for Venom Goblin too. But Beowulf says Avengers Compound is better than what the players give credit for. Yeah, I mean it's not bad. It's not bad. Yeah, disarm defense, I think I have not used it ever, I think. And I don't know when I would. So I'm not finding a situation. Because of that, I don't think I care about it. I was very hyped for it though. Is it average? I don't think it is. Yeah, I think I'm gonna put it here. This arm defense. Like the day that I play the card, I will change my mind. But for now, I think I'm gonna commit to this. Okay, that is it. For the list here. Okay, yeah, we have no more cards. So let's move up Evaluator. I think that's definitely my favorite card. For non-leadership cards. How do I don't know how to do it. All right, we're just gonna put it here. Bill says 0 cost, the Avengers compound, 0 cost to reduce the cost of an ally by 1, basically, but on the next turn. To reduce the cost of ally by 1. I mean, you're still losing that ally as a resource on the current turn. So I wouldn't necessarily say it's reducing the cost of the ally by 1. In fact, I think it's like you're paying an extra cost because you have to play this card down. So it's like I think it's worth it after you get the effect like 2 times or something. But yeah, I don't necessarily think it's reducing the cost of ally because you're still losing that ally as a resource on the turn that you tuck the ally underneath the Avengers compound. If that makes sense. But okay, guys, what are we looking at here? So yeah, these cards were I think were misses. Recruitment Drive Jars, I don't think are that good. These cards I don't really care about. Bombs Away, Disarm Defense. These are like average cards for me. I think they're all fine. And then yeah, we do have a lot of really cool cards. So yeah, these are pretty decent, like pretty cool. And then like the amazing cards are like just really nice. How do I do this? Okay, all right, there we go. That was much better. Yeah, these cards are just like, yeah, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, 12 like really cool cards. Yeah, I think these cards are awesome. I think that, yeah, I don't know. Bill says, quick question before you go. Thoughts on Magic? She's become my favorite hero. So like, well, Nar Antlers, who's in the chat, he loves Magic. I think that through his gameplay request, I've liked Magic more. I was so hyped for her, but I think that she's more complex than what I want in a hero. Like I like complexity from myself making it complex, like with the sequencing. I like super simple effects that can be complex because of the way you need to maneuver through it. So like, for example, I like that Ronin on stage 2, you can't remove that from the main scheme on his main scheme stage 2 if he has a Power Stone. And then I like that Superior Tactics comes out with his when reviewed on his stage 3, so you cannot take the Power Stone from Ronin. And then I like that the puzzle of like, how do I throw out the side scheme, do damage to Ronin, and then thwart the main scheme. So like that puzzle, I think is interesting, but I like it through simple effects, like simple cards that do that, right? Like just like authority event or like an ally and an attack event, right? So like I like complex stuff that's through simple. And I think Magic is the opposite way, where there's 5 different ways for you to like do 2 damage and remove 2 threat. But there's 5 different ways to do it. So it's just like complex. It's like, which one of the 5 should I do? Because they all like take me to that same goal. But it's like so many ways to do it because like of her sequencing. I don't know if that makes any sense. Like she is a solid hero for me. I don't think I love her though. Magic or Scar Witch? I think Magic though. Yeah, this is another Nar Antlers thing with Scar Witch. I'm pretty down on Scar Witch. I don't, the more I play her, I don't know if that I'm just comparing to all the newer heroes, but her design like gets more boring to me the more that I play her. So yeah, I definitely like Magic more than Scar Witch. I might just need more Scar Witch plays because no, I mean everything about her kit just looks cool. So like, don't get me wrong, I think that she looks awesome. I think the hex boats are still super fun, but yeah, I don't know if I'm the biggest fan of her. But yeah, okay. I think that's a good sum here for the list. Yeah, Avenge Me. I thought it would be my favorite card. It is. And the Evaluator is super duper cool as well. We have a lot of cool cards here. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of these cards just changed the game. This card changed the game for Avengers. This also for Avenged and Shield characters. Cameo changes it for like Psychic decks and just like Identity Allies. Unified Strike's a really, really awesome card too. Swordsman, like one of the coolest chump blockers ever. Hawkeye, super unique. Strong to Getter, super cool. Battlefield Benevolence, potentially a new archetype. Firebird, yeah, I'm just digging these cards. Beowulf says both Magic and Scar Wars are in the top 5. Yeah, I think they're kind of a similar vibe. Do you like Domino a lot too? Because Nora Antlers loves Domino. I think that they're kind of similar, like Magic and Domino. Nora Antlers says that Zola game was Scar, which is hard counter, shows her weak spots. Yeah, yeah. I thought she would do better in that game. I think that I don't know. Beowulf says Domino's is my top 1. Okay, I definitely see your like preference. I think it's very similar to Nora Antlers too. Than Magneto. Yeah. 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 All right, guys. I think that's it for stream. Okay. I love that. We did a pretty short stream this time. Ish. I mean, it's still pretty long, but shorter than what we normally do. 1 hour and 20 minutes. That's pretty good, guys. That's gotta be a record for these streams. All right, guys. Thank you so much, everyone that was able to tune in here on a Sunday evening. Not our usual streaming time this week, but I had some time here, so I thought it'd be fun to do it. So yeah, all right, guys. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I hope you guys have an amazing start to your week tomorrow on Monday. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week for another stream. See you later, guys.